your voice is critically important. You need to make sure you distill down exactly who you are as a business or a person doing business and why your audience cares about that. When you nail your voice, you will be able to sell your customers anything that they need and keep them engaged and excited to read your content, watch your videos, and come back again and again. You may be surprised to learn that I've actually been doing this for more than 10 years. So I have seen every possible thing that can go very, very well and pretty much every single mistake that you can make. And in fact, I've made a lot of those mistakes myself, which is why I developed these 8 immutable laws of email marketing. This idea came about because more often than not, I have been on the side of this as both an email writer and a manager, where I realized that I need to get an email out tomorrow in order to hit company goals. We need to close a promotion. We need to kick a promotion off. We need to juice things just a little bit because we're falling just short of where we want to be in terms of sales or attention we've gathered. And I would find myself saying, whew, okay, it's 12:01 in the morning and I got to write an email, and nothing sounds harder than those post-midnight emails, which is how we bring ourselves to the first of my 8 immutable laws. The blank page is your mortal enemy. One of the reasons that people struggle so much to get the ball rolling with email marketing is they sit in front of an open Word document and watch that cursor blink, blink, blink. Nothing is getting written down, the stress is building, the tension is building, and it feels terrible. Well, you'll be happy to learn that this course will help you shortcut through that problem, because one of the key secrets to becoming a strong email marketer is to build a library of previous emails that you know you can use. In this course, we provide you with 20 different email templates, which you can use. These are full campaigns with multiple emails in them that are great jumping off points. This is the key secret. Instead of staring at that blinking cursor on the white page, you want to start with the bare bones of what you need, an outline that tells you both what does the email need to contain, what should the subject line do, what should the mood and the energy be that you're drawing out of the readers, what visuals do you need, and maybe most importantly, when do you need to build interest and attention, and when do you need to close that interest and attention and turn it into sales? When do you need to leverage scarcity and urgency? Building this library of email templates is a critical way to help you become a faster, more successful email marketer. That's why it's our first immutable law. But I have many more lessons to share with you, 7 more from all the other ones. So, our second lesson, when you use storytelling and open loops, this happens. I've got you waiting on bated breath because you're curious, what's next? What happens? This is one of the key secrets to building campaigns rather than emails. Figuring out this idea that people are naturally going to see multiple emails that you send. And each one is telling not just an individual story, but a larger meta story that gets people excited. One easy way to get your head wrapped around this is go visit BuzzFeed. These headlines build interest and attention and excitement so effectively. They tease the idea that you're going to learn something. You're going to discover something about yourself. There is excitement, there is curiosity, there's interest. And you are building a story through series of emails, building up to this larger point, a transformation that people will achieve, or the loss of that transformation. So by mastering the storytelling hooks, like any good Flash Gordon story where it ends on a cliffhanger, leveraging those strategies in your email marketing makes your emails not only effective at generating sales and leads, but exciting and fun to read. Our next one, learning how to break the email down into its constituent parts is critical. Our third immutable law, the subject line sells the open and the email body sells the click. A classic mistake of any email marketer is the idea that you want to squish it all together, do it all in one go, where you say, okay, this email needs to tell people about the discount and it needs to get them sure that they know about this urgency and it needs to do this and that and the other. These emails cannot be so long that people could finish Moby Dick in the time it takes to scroll all the way through it, right? We need to be punchy and concise and short, which means we need to optimize each piece of the email to do a specific job. The subject line exists in a sea of other subject lines. You need to make sure that it stands out to get people to open that email. You don't need to convince them to buy the product with the subject line. You need to get them to open. And the email body works the same way. One of the best ways to sort of see this represented is from Netflix, actually. Netflix did massive testing on their video thumbnails to figure out how to get more people to watch movies. If you've used any streaming service, you know about the dreaded scroll where you sit down to watch a movie and 2 hours later, you still haven't made a decision. Netflix identified this problem as a key reason people were leaving the service, and so they tested to figure out how could they make the thumbnails more provocative. Instead of trying to contain all the information about the film in it, they figured out pulling out key visual moments that build curiosity and interest was the best way to get people to watch. So, just like Netflix did, you don't want to use your subject lines to sell the premise of the movie. Find an interesting idea to get them to click in. You don't need your email body to do the job of the sales page. You need it to get people to click and go to the next page. Don't put too much work on your email and it'll be able to work for you. Next, number 4 of our 8 immutable laws, you need to swiftly hook your audience by focusing on your voice. To help you understand this principle, I have a tale of 2 country musicians for you, which I used to be a country musician DJ. So I love to throw a little bit of that in here. Got some of the Texas twang. But it's a story about Taylor Swift and Garth Brooks. So some of you may remember, really dating myself here, in the late 90s, Garth Brooks was at the height of his popularity, right? He had tons of #1 hits. He was really top of the charts. And he decided he wanted to branch out and get into the rock game. So what did he do? Well, he invented a brand new persona, Chris Gaines, who put out an album that actually got a few people to go and buy it. It was at the top of the charts for a little bit, but you probably have never heard the name Chris Gaines, and rest assured, a lot of this information has been buried, so if you go dig in Wikipedia, you'll find it, but he doesn't want it to necessarily be the highlight. He decided to launch a brand new persona to make this change, and his fans did not follow because he had lost the thread, the reason that they were connected and interested in him. Now, the other side of the scale, our musician that successfully did this is Taylor Swift, who you probably remember from her first album, singing about Tim McGraw, falling in love, and being 16. Well, now she is top of the charts pop star who has been able to bring her fans up with her. And the secret is that she nailed her voice. Even as her music changed, what she was singing about and the way she was singing, the way she was putting the music together, she never lost the thread of emotional vulnerability and feeling a personal connection with her audience. And she was able to bring all of her fans across genres, something that's typically not that easy to do. So, how does this relate back to your email marketing? Well, your voice is critically important. You need to make sure you distill down exactly who you are as a business or a person doing business and why your audience cares about that. When you nail your voice, you will be able to sell your customers anything that they need and keep them engaged and excited to read your content, watch your videos, and come back again and again. If you miss your voice and jump ship, change what you're doing entirely, don't be surprised if you find that your email list doesn't respond, because it's all about why they follow you, why they're connected to you, and what you can do for them. Our 5th immutable law, there are only 6 types of subject lines. Subject lines feel like one of the most important levers you can pull, right? How do you stand out in the inbox to get people to actually click? Well, people think, oh, there's a million secret little tricks and I need to do this. I have to use emojis. I have to do this. But really the way to do this is to understand the different categories. We've talked about taxonomy before. Email subject lines fall into one of 6 categories. So let's run through those very quickly. The first one is self-interest. This is all about how can people help themselves by consuming your emails. So some examples might include your invitation-only event has begun. Hey, this is an exclusive event. I need to attend this because it's for me. Or official notice, your refund is waiting. That one came from TurboTax and was pretty darn effective. Knowing that your tax refund is available and waiting, pretty quick way to motivate people to click their emails. Our next subject line type is curiosity. This is all about building interest and attention, using some of those open loop concepts we talked about earlier. Calling all lazy, parentheses, smart, business owners. How is it smart to be lazy? Well, I'm a business owner and I want to do things easier, so I need to check this out. Click and open it. Or RE, details on your future order. Wait, what do you mean? People are trained to look for order emails because they just bought something, but future order is kind of interesting. I need to see, did I accidentally buy something? Am I planning to make a purchase? Very effective at building curiosity. Our next type is an offer. These are some of the most direct subject lines you can use. Who wants the last Smart Traffic Live ticket? You want the last ticket? Hey, I didn't even know they were about to run out. I should go buy this right now. Or 62 lessons, 12 handouts, 7 modules, 1 killer certification. Telling people exactly what you're offering them with this email is a great way to get them excited to click and open if it fits what they need. Our fourth type is urgency. Your free book is on hold. Order ASAP, expires soon. There's a free book that won't be around forever. It's probably important to take action now. Another one. Your 75% off is almost gone. It is critically important to leverage urgency because it is one of the best ways to help people overcome their inertia. Now, you can overdo this. Every email should not feel like something is about to disappear or be a problem. But when used sparingly, urgency and scarcity are the most powerful lever to drive sales. We will typically drive 20% of our sales for a promotion with an urgency-based subject line by building up to it. Our fifth type is humanity. It's my birthday, and I have a gift for you. Well, that's pretty interesting, right? Typically, we give birthday gifts, so I'm curious about that, but it's also about sharing something personable and being a little bit vulnerable with that detail. This is an amazing way to build a connection, where people feel like they are getting that one-to-one communication, right? While email is one-to-many, the more we can make it feel personal, the more people are connected and want to stick around. Or another great one, we screwed up. That is a huge admission that most people aren't willing to do in their day-to-day life. So for a business to do it is a little strange, but very endearing. This was one of the best subject lines I ever ran and ended up driving a bunch of sales even though we were just communicating that we had made a mistake. It's very, very powerful to make your brand feel more human. And our final subject line type is proof. This is where you leverage ideas and strategies and information, results your customers have gotten, and things where you can show how this actually works. A couple examples. Their ugly funnel generated almost $300,000 in revenue. Okay, well, I would love to generate $300,000 in revenue for my business, and I can probably put together an ugly funnel, so I need to see how they did this so I can copy it. Or interview. He's doing $60,000 a day on Facebook now with this strategy. I saw this one come out after all the changes from iOS 14, and people absolutely responded like crazy because they were struggling to keep their spend up on Facebook after that shifted. It is telling people that someone else has had success that they can look at and figure out how to model and copy, which is a great way to get people excited and pitch that transformation, which is such a powerful tool. All right, gearing back in, we've got 3 immutable laws left. Number 6, when in doubt, follow the perfect 4-link formula. Our email body is designed to drive clicks, right? We want people to click through to a page on our website, somewhere that they can learn more about a product they want to buy, or some content that they should read and learn from. Well, the best way to do this is to structure your email where you are providing different entry points to get people to click. We want to have a link very high up in the email for people who are more curiosity and action oriented. If they don't need a lot of convincing, having an easy to click link high in the email means they are much more likely to go over to the sales page. Next, we want some kind of visual cue. Not everybody likes to read, and while email is a written medium, it is very, very powerful to use images in them as well. So mixing in another kind of click where you can get people to see a picture and say, oh, I want that, incredibly powerful. Next, we have logic and proof. If people have made it this far down your email, they're interested because they're still reading, but they're not quite convinced. So hit them with some examples of why this works, or how this works, or some data that shows them it's something they should try. And finally, if people read to the very bottom of your email and haven't clicked yet, well, just like with our subject lines, we want to hit them with a little bit of urgency and scarcity. If you want this, it's time to act now. Check this product out. Get this before it's gone. Ending emails with this is a great way to help people that are sitting on the fence, a little uncertain, take that final step and click. Immutable law number 7. The world is mobile first. Make sure your email is too. There has been a massive shift in the last 10 years, going from desktop being the primary email platform to mobile phones. Now, site traffic is typically composed of about 80% mobile phone users, which is not a bad thing. But if you don't think about this in terms of your email, you're going to find yourself left in the dust. you need to make sure that you've optimized your email templates and your email content to serve people on mobile devices. Over 40% of people always check their email on their mobile device before opening it on a desktop later. And 47% of people sometimes do this. Only 27% of people don't use mobile at all. While the visitors to your site is about 80% mobile, emails may be a little bit lower, but mobile is still incredibly important. So make sure your email template, your email copy, and your email images are designed to work in multiple environments, but mobile most importantly. And our final immutable law of email marketing: showing beats telling. This is an idea that resonates with story writers and, hey, novelists like you email specialists everywhere, because it is much more powerful to demonstrate through a story than it is to just say, oh, here's the thing. Well, we can do that same thing with our email. Literally, telling stories in our email is an incredibly powerful strategy, but also mixing up the media that we use where there are visuals involved. They say a picture is worth 1,000 words. So if you throw 2 or 3 pictures in an email, you've been able to fit in a lot more copy than you would have just writing it out. Make sure that you're leveraging pictures, GIFs, and other visual elements in your copy. If you only have written word, you will be able to craft a compelling story, but you're definitely going to miss out on big chunks of your audience if there are no pictures involved. So mix up that multimedia. There you have it, the 8 immutable laws. Each of these on their own represents a core principle behind email marketing, but when you combine them all, you can avoid some of the biggest pitfalls. I know because I've fallen into them in my career. So listen to these, remember them, print them out, and use this shortcut to fast track your email marketing success.